So, hey guys, excited to see that some of you are already in the room. And I know a few of you got a little bit confused today about what was going on and why was I on earlier. So, just to let you know, I did a 4 o'clock show today, and then obviously this show, which is my normal time, just because there are some people in other countries who cannot make it ever for the 6 p.m. time slot. So from now on until the finale, I'm going to be doing 2 shows, one at 4 p.m. Eastern, one at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I know some of you were at the last show and you're here again. And I don't have enough words to say how awesome that is. Like, I can't even believe someone would want to do that. And I just thank you so much. That's so great. Like, the fact that one of you wants to sit here and listen to me talk and interact is amazing to me. So thank you guys so much. Molly is here again, and Natty is here again, and Neely is here again. We have Reese for the very first time. We have Nisi. And if you haven't said hello yet, go ahead and say hey. We want to chat about what happened in last night's episode, also what we expect from the next 2 weeks. And I want to know your theories, specifically who you think is Redcoat, because that was the biggest thing that came out of last night's episode. Pretty much the only big thing, in my opinion, and the only thing that made me not like hate the episode. I didn't think it was as terrible as the past couple of weeks episodes, but I also didn't love it. But I just hope that all of this time they're kind of giving us filler episodes is really going to pay off when we actually have the finale for this part, or this half of this season. And hopefully we do get some real answers, because I feel like the summer of answers has been the summer of some answers, but not really. Like the summer of no answers, really. Hey, Court. Samuel is here again. That's awesome. Hey, Livy. Alec is back. Riley. I'm going to say your name wrong. I know. Aporv, maybe? Tell me if I'm saying that wrong. Kay Marie is here. Julia is back again. So thank you guys so very much. So let's just start off the chat with you telling me who you think Redcoat is, and we'll talk about that for just a little bit, and then we'll get into some more stuff that happened in last night's episode. We met another new character, which you guys know what I think about new characters, and I'm not too crazy about them, but I really hope all the new characters we're meeting mean something, because we've met so many in season 6, and I hope they're not just useless people to try to make us think that they're A, you know? So I know I'm saying your name wrong again. Aporv maybe thinks that Redcoat is either Sarah or Bethany. And some of you think that Sarah is Bethany or Bethany is Sarah. So yes, definitely. Kay thought it was weird how they kept saying Reese looks so much like Jason and a De Laurentiis when Jason is biologically a Hastings. Kay, love it. Nobody mentioned this in the last show that we did. You're right. He's not even a Hastings. I mean, he's not even a De Laurentiis. Oh my gosh. That is genius. Why has no one thought of this before? Funny, very funny. Molly is making her husband watch this series from the beginning to have someone to bounce more ideas off of. That is an awesome husband, because I know most guys want to steer clear of this show, but I do have some people who I talked to recently about the show, or all the time about the show, whose boyfriends or husbands are really involved, and that is so awesome. Like, how cool is that? If your boyfriend or husband watches this, you've got a good guy. Okay. Alec is asking if I think there could be 2 Redcoats, one that is Cece, possibly the one working with A, but then another one because no one was listening to the moms, and another one was in the limo with A. Oh, there was one listening to the moms, and then another was in the limo with A. Yeah, but I'm not, yeah, you're right, because it was near the end of the episode. I don't know, like, what they were trying to do with the timing there. Like, was Ella and Hannah's mom talking at exactly the same time as Redcoat and Charles was in that limo? I'm not really sure. I hope there's just one Redcoat. People have said there might be 3 Redcoats. I think that's ridiculous. We have enough people who we don't know who they are. Black Widow, Redcoat, Charles. Can we not? Can we not? I don't need 1,000 Redcoats, 1,000 Charleses, whatever. That's my opinion. Nisi's saying there were barely any answers, hoping for more answers in part B. Guys, I mean, after part B, there's only one more season, so all I keep thinking is, as frustrating as it is, they have to wrap all this up sometime, right? I don't know if they'll ever answer all the different questions that they made us have or think of, but they have to wrap it up, because the show is going to actually end like forever, ever. So they have to wrap it up. Neely says it's been the summer of feelers, and I think fillers, not feelers. Feelers would be like a totally different show. Fillers, yeah, it's just been Fill time. Red herring, red herring, red herring. Yeah. Tamari is back. Awesome. Thank you for being here again, Tamari. Nisi thinks that Redcoat is Melissa. She got the whole Melissa vibe, and her body looked like that. Yeah, Melissa is real petite, real small. That body type definitely fit that. There are other characters who have that type of body, so it could be other people. I'm not sure. Court thinks that Redcoat is Sarah. I like how you put the capital A in there with Sarah. Kay has no idea who Redcoat is. Always think that it's Cece because we've seen her in the red coat, but you never know. Maybe it is too obvious that we've seen Cece in that red coat because we have. I feel like, honestly, it can't be her because that's just too freaking obvious, and I don't think they would go there. Cutie Pie is back again. What's up, girl? Missed ya. Missed all of you. Thinks that Redcoat is Maya. Who do I want Redcoat to be? I want it to be Aria. I would be so happy. There's something up with Aria. Okay, listen. Every episode has been this season about her and the creepy dolls, her and the creepy dolls. And then they took time for the scene last night where Tanner was like specifically saying to her, you just have an eye for this, and going over those creepy doll pictures. Like, come on, this has to mean something. And this show is really good about, like, if they tell you someone is A, or you know how they're trying to make us think Reese was A, they're not A, but they hint around without actually saying it. So all the hints they're throwing out there about Aria and the dolls, I swear that means something. Like, I swear. I mean, seriously. Riley, thanks for joining us, has a gut feeling about Aria being Redcoat. We were just talking about that. In the last episode, when Aria was talking to Emily about prom, she said they could rent a limo. Huh, cool. Didn't even think of that. The last scene, Redcoat was driving a limo. Not sure if it's connected, but that is cool. And we know there's no coincidences in Rosewood or on PLL. Natty has a theory, thinking that Redcoat, Black Widow, is Sydney. Sydney we have not seen in so long. Where is she? Don't know. Natty thinks that you're a guy. I'm so sorry. Guys, listen, your pictures are like the teeniest size. And now that I'm really looking, I can tell. I really am sorry. If I'm calling you by the wrong name or the wrong gender, please tell me, not on purpose. So Natty thinks that Jenna told her what Allison looked like, told Sydney, and was just looking for a blonde and a yellow top. Okay, that's a great point. Very good point. I could see that. Although, what do you guys think about Sydney being Redcoat? Because I kind of feel not cool about that. We haven't seen her in so long. And like, I expect the reveals of these people in the next 2 weeks to be like so epic. So just imagine like when Redcoat turns around and takes the hood off or whatever, and you see Sydney. What would you think? I would just be like, oh, oh. Okay. Reese thinks it's weird how Sarah, and this is not the Reese from the episode. It's a Reese on here. Haha. Thinks it's weird how Sarah left Emily's last episode and then Redcoat shows up in this episode. Definitely. Very strange behavior by Sarah in the last episode. Very odd that Claire was all of a sudden her friend after they had been, you know, not really on good terms for so long. She was dying to get out of Emily's house. We didn't see her last night. It makes sense that she might be Redcoat because why is she dying to get out of Emily's house? Especially if that's someone that you have a crush on, why are you trying to get away from them? Like, wouldn't that be so cool if you were like living with them for a while, if you were into them? I don't know. Good point. Alex says this may not be a clue, but redcoats used to refer to the soldiers of the British Army. Completely. Do I think that can mean something? Maybe, but if Redcoat is a girl, does Redcoat have to be a girl? Could it be a guy? I don't know. Maybe there's something out there saying that Redcoat has to be a girl. I don't know any British girls unless we don't know this person. Who's British? Are there any British girls on the show? Nisi keeps hearing theories about people who are supposedly dead being on the A team. Well, I could totally see them going there. I mean, Maya's name has been brought up so many different times, so it wouldn't be surprised. Molly says that Aria did wear the red coat when someone recognized her as Vivian. Was that Aria or was that Allie? Because Allie used to dress up in the red coat as Vivian Darkbloom, right? Court thinks that Aria definitely is going to be the liar that will be the one to betray us. I hope so. Wouldn't that be exciting, guys? I think so. Hey, Matthew, thanks for joining us. Zoe says that Aria wore a ballet dress to the gallery opening. Could it be another hint to the Black Swan thing again? Well, I did think she looked really cute there. You know, that's kind of off topic, but, you know, maybe. I mean, we can't really, I think that was such a significant episode when she was the Black Swan and everything at the masquerade ball. So true. Tamari says she would not like Sydney being Redcoat because she came kind of late into the show. Agree. I would not be excited if they were like, and it's Sydney. I'd be like, okay. Apoorv wants to know if the twin theory is going to be revealed in the finale. I haven't heard that, but that would be interesting to me, but I think they're going to make us wait on some things. Natty says that he only wants Sydney to be Redcoat if Jenna is also involved. Okay, I can maybe handle that. He thinks the two should go hand in hand. If one is evil and the other isn't, then that wouldn't make sense. I agree with you there. Matthew's asking, where's Toby? Well, we did see him in last week's episode because he had the special gummies. I'm hoping that he doesn't get suspended or anything because, guys, that wasn't his fault, but I don't know. I'm sure we will be seeing him either next week, probably definitely the next week. Neely says Sydney was introduced way too late for being Redcoat. That's what I think completely. Matthew thinks that Redcoat is a girl. I really think that, unless, who knows, but, maybe not, but that's what I think. Tamari says something we talked about in the show a couple hours ago. Allie doesn't know Bethany. Okay, so there were some people talking in our 4 o'clock show. They were convinced that Allie did know Bethany. Tamari's done some research. She says Allie doesn't know Bethany. In the Christmas episode, Hannah finds a letter. I remember this, a letter from Bethany to Allison. But in prison, Allie told Hannah that she was set up. Okay, that's what I thought. Hey, Cutie Pie, thanks for being here. Neely says that Toby is probably recovering. Natty says that Aria, Allison, Cece, and Hannah were all seen wearing the red coat at some point during the series. Yeah, so you're right. So it could be Cece. It could be any of them. Okay. Tamari says Allison dressed in a black coat. Aria did wear the red coat once. Okay, so when Allie was Vivian Darkbloom, she must have had the dark hair and a black, raincoat. Okay. Court thinks that Toby is still high. I hope not. I hope not. It's been a week. It's been a couple weeks. Diana thinks that the red coat is Sarah because in previous episodes, we always saw blonde hair coming out of Redcoat's hoodie, but this time we didn't, and Sarah had long hair, but she cut it. And I tried to reply to you on YouTube, and your comment, disappeared, so I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. That's a really good point. That's what I was going to say. The only thing else I could say about that is we did always see, blonde hair. And, when Mona was attacked, we also saw people with blonde hair. And sometimes I think that these are all wigs because they really wanted to frame Allie. Now that we know Allie is not doing stuff and she's not a suspect, they don't need the blonde wig anymore. That's kind of what I think. Reese says that Sarah has been suspicious since she has gotten here. Charles didn't chip her. Absolutely. That was really suspicious. When she felt Emily checking for a chip, she kissed her. Didn't ask what she was doing. Completely, Reese. Agree with you. Drink your sauce. I like it. Cece or Melissa are Redcoat, according to Drink Your Sauce, because everyone seems to be afraid of them. And I really don't know why, especially Melissa. Why is everyone afraid of Melissa? Nisi thinks that Aria has this thing with the doll because of the dollhouse. She said to Charles, I'm not your doll. And he said, there we go. He said that it's probably a way of her getting over the dollhouse. Possibly. But why is that in every episode? And giving up her dolls are a sign of her breaking free. Okay, I can see that. I don't like that, though. I want it to be that she's involved. I want her to be Redcoat. Come on. Apoorv wants to know if Holbrook could be Charles. We haven't seen him in a while. True. There's a lot of people we haven't seen that I guess could be Charles. I kind of hope not, though. Do you guys want Holbrook to be Charles? I don't. Alex says most fans don't think Reese is Charles. I don't think so either. If he's not, why does he look so much like Jason? I think he's a red herring. Now, he may be involved somehow. He may even be somehow related to Jason. I'm not going to say that couldn't happen. But they were straight up telling us pretty much last night, oh my gosh, he has to be involved. He looks so much like him. And funny, they said he looks like a De Laurentiis when he's not. But he is part De Laurentiis, I guess, because, they're saying he looks like Allie and Jason, and they do have the same mom. So I could kind of get that. But yeah, I think it's just way too simple. I think that if he ended up being Charles, I think people would freak out. I would freak out. We just met him. Please. He did kind of look like the kid from the videos. I'll give you that, but please. Molly still wants to know why Aria's doll in A's little house wore a black hoodie. I don't know. I mean, she's always been weird, guys. There's always been these little signs. Neely likes the way that I say her name. You are a girl, right? And am I saying it right? And does it really have 3 E's, or is this just like your username? I want to get to know you guys. Nisi says, with all the gummies. Wouldn't be surprised if he is still high. Whoa. Toby, I'm really sorry for you if that's the case. Court says this is off topic, but what if Noel's secret, Noel, who we haven't seen since like the 1980s, was that he was keeping a secret that Allie was blackmailing him, which had to do with Bethany. And she thinks they did know her, Allie and Noel, because they were really close before. I don't know. Possibly. I feel bad about that situation because we haven't seen Noel in so long. I don't think of him very often. It's aggravating to me if he has some huge role in this. It's very aggravating to me, honestly. I feel like Ren is Charles, but that bothers me so much because we really haven't seen him in so long, and I don't think that's right. You know, I don't think that that's right for him to be Charles, but he probably is. Samuel says it would be interesting if Redcoat was a twin, especially if it was one of the liars. Well, that would be. I agree with you. There's Allie, who used to wear the coat, also using the name Vivian, and Hannah used to see twins. I would love to know who the twins are in this show, but I do think it's going to be, I don't think we're going to find out in this half of the season, but I could be wrong. You never know. Natty says Allison also knew that Bethany was connected to her family because she asked Ghost Mona if the yellow dress was for Bethany. Why would she think it was for Bethany if she was just set up? Okay, now that's a really good point. I got to give it to you, Natty. That's a good point. Cutie Pie wants to see Bethany's face. I would love it because we have no clue what Bethany looks like. If I missed your comment, just re-comment because I know sometimes I'm scrolling through here and it just starts skipping. Alex says, always had a thought that Redcoat was Hannah's twin because Hannah has many twin clues that point to her. Yeah, there's always been, as a couple of you have said, this twin stuff, and then her mom saw like the little girl twins, and there's definitely a lot of like twin imagery with Hannah. So, and then there have been times when they thought Hannah was Allie. Do you remember that? So that's interesting. Yes, definitely. I'm glad that you can participate, Diana. A lot of people will ask me on YouTube or Twitter, they're like, I'm watching your live stream and it will not let me comment. And I don't know why YouTube and Google do this, but you have to be on a desktop or laptop, which all of you guys know who are commenting, but a lot of people don't know. And I like to do a lot of stuff on my phone or my iPad. So I'm with you. Like, I would much rather do these kind of things. If I was watching someone's, I would want to do it from my phone or whatever. But sadly, I didn't create this, and that's like the YouTube rules. By the way, speaking of chatting from your phone, I did my first Periscope broadcast last night. It was really fun. I did it directly after the East Coast airing of the episode. I was shocked. There were a lot of people there. It was very fun. And that is something you can use your phone to just type and interact with me. The only problem with Periscope, if you've ever been on there, is that when people type their comments, it's not like here. Like, you'll see their comment and literally like 3 seconds, it's gone. And sometimes there are like 6 or 7 people commenting at once, and I'm like trying to read the top one and it's gone, and then the next ones are gone, and it's just so hard. But I still love it, and I'm going to Periscope after the next 2 episodes on the East Coast. And I've been thinking, since the finale should be a really big deal, I want to include more people when I Periscope, so I'll do it after that episode airs on the East Coast, but I'll probably do like one after the episode airs on the West Coast and maybe like another, so we can Periscope and hopefully talk about the big reveal. So you guys let me know what you think about that, because by the way, Periscope is a free download. It's part of Twitter. So if you have a Twitter, you can easily sign up for Periscope, free download for your phone or tablet. It's pretty simple to use. Aria is Nisi's favorite liar because she is more like her. Well, honestly, besides her possibly being crazy and a killer, I also relate to Aria. She is the person most like me on this show. So I've always kind of loved her, and I've loved the Ezria relationship, even though I don't really trust him a lot. I still kind of want them to get together eventually, like at the end of the show. So I'm with you on that. Okay. So Diana would love it if Aria was on the A team. Yes. Molly's asking if Reese is possibly related to Andrew. Definitely a possibility, I think. And Andrew also looked so much like that boy in the home video. Now, it doesn't mean that that has to mean anything, because as you guys know, he could have been born, Charles was obviously born like a blonde. He could have dyed his hair to be like Ren's color. He could have developed a British accent. He could have done anything to change his appearance because maybe he didn't want to be recognized anymore. So it doesn't have to mean that he's just like this blonde, preppy looking person like he looked like as a kid. Nisi says, Clark being on the A team, this is too much. The writers need to have several seats. Agree. Do not think that Clark is on the A team. I honestly think he is another red herring. I don't know what's up with him. They want us to think he's on the A team. I'm not going to buy into that nonsense. I think most of us are way smarter. Probably all of us are way smarter than the writers. And I feel like the writers can, think they can outsmart us and trick us and make us think all these people are A. But come on now. Come on. Tamari says that Marlene says season 3, episode 1 was a parallel to season 1, episode 1. Mona picks up Allie after Allie came out of the hole. Who picked Emily from the club when she was drugged? Jenna. Right. So what are we saying here? Are we saying that Mona and Jenna are working together? Quite possibly. I still don't trust Mona. Never have. I still feel like she's working with Charles, honestly. Sardinia. Alex, that is so cool. Thank you so much for being here. Riley says, can't trust things on Wiki as we know, but for season 6, returning cast, Cece was listed. Don't think we've seen her yet in season 6, so maybe she's Redcoat. And I know if you read the Reddit spoilers, which I don't believe are true anymore, they were saying that Cece was going to be back in the finale, but we'll see. Natty says, hope they don't go too far with the mental illness thing with Charles/Redcoat. Feeling this way because PLL is sometimes guilty of labeling people with mental illness as crazy. Definitely. And I think there is a very fine line that they need to walk there because there's all different types of mental illnesses. Obviously, people don't normally kill people just because, you have a mental illness doesn't mean you are a killer, So I agree. I hope that they handle it if they do go into the whole Charles has a mental illness and that's what made him do these things. I hope they handle it in a good way. I think they will. I really hope that they do. And you have to think, I think Mrs. D had some things going on that weren't normal, or at least most moms wouldn't do that. And I feel like she really kind of contributed to making him not be a normal kid. Normal, there is no normal, I know, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if he belonged in Radley, So I think the story is going to be sad. I really do. Ren being Charles is a good theory, but since he escaped, says Apoorv, Radley a few years ago and then later went to work there, wouldn't the staff recognize him? Yes, I think, but I think that it's good and kind of interesting that Ren is dark-headed and British. They may be remembering a person who is not British with an American accent, a very blonde person. Maybe that's why he had to be drastically changing his appearance and his accent. Nisi's asking, how would it work for Arya and Hannah to be twins? It would be cool, but they would have to be clever about it. Yeah, I don't know how that would work, but sometimes twins have different hair colors, or maybe someone's dyeing their hair. Haha, Cutie is asking what happened to the topic about Ashley marrying Ted. Where is Ted? We could make such a long list of like all of these characters where we don't know where the heck they went. That's a great question. I thought they were getting married, right? Right? I don't know. Yes, good point, Apoorv. The finale is supposed to be 90 minutes, which obviously they owe to us if they are going to do major reveals. That, I think, I've been very concerned about this because how many times have they told us we're going to see something major in a finale? We're going to find out who A is, blah, blah, blah. And it's just been, I think, the normal amount of time. Correct me if I'm wrong. Were any of the finales longer? But the fact that they're making this one longer kind of tells me they're making more of a commitment to it. And I'm feeling like maybe we're really going to find out who these people are. I'm going to be really crushed if we don't find out. If they're playing with us, we don't see the actual Charles. We don't, if it's a random person I've never seen before, if Redcoat is someone I've never seen before, not going to be happy. Alex says the staff didn't recognize Mona as she walked in and out of Radley while she was a patient. So if he left, changed his hair and identity, they probably wouldn't recognize him. Completely agree with you. Completely agree. Tamari says Ashley told Ted that it wasn't right to enter a relationship when her life was such a mess. She did let him go. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember that. That is so sad. Did she tell him about the Jason thing? I can't remember. I feel like she did, but maybe she didn't. Samuel says it would be interesting if Hannah has a twin. Totally. There were hints. Yes. Maybe she got the money from the Karasimi group because she's related to someone who was in Radley and connected to Charles. Then again, A in the past, although it was Mona, used to use money against Hannah and Ashley. Yes, because her mom was embezzling money from the bank. Again, A has money. So it can't be some people. Ezra has money. We know that. Ezra's family had money. I don't know about Ren, but it's got to be someone with money. That's another thing we need to remember. Nisi wants to know, where is Caleb? He's been MIA for the last 2 weeks. Not saying he's A, just miss seeing his goodness on my screen. I love your comments. Just throwing that out there. I don't know where he is. He's just a little bit, I mean, who isn't shady? Let's see. Emily's dad. He's not shady, but a lot of people are shady. I will add him to the shady list. I don't think he's Charles, but he kind of has a story that goes along with it because he was adopted and we don't know his family, and could be. Maddie has another theory. So what if A hit Allison over the head with a rock, not to kill her, but to knock her out and kidnap her? However, Mrs. D saw A and had to bury her. That's why they kidnapped Sarah instead. Okay, let me think about this again. If A hit Allison over the head with a rock just to kidnap her, but then Mrs. D... so instead they kidnapped Sarah. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I hope we find that out. I don't know if we're going to find out exactly how all of that happened in this finale, but that would be interesting. Apoorv thinks that Wilden could also be a suspect for Charles since he sort of resembles the De Laurentiis family. Yeah, but wasn't he kind of like in love with Allie? That would be really sick if that ends up being her brother. Hoping Nisi says they don't lead us on and give us 80 minutes of filler in the last 10 minutes of answers. I think they're going to do that. I absolutely think they're going to do that. I don't think we're going to know who Charles and Redcoat are until the very last minutes. They want people to stick around for that whole episode. So they're not going to give it away. That's what I think anyway. Alec heard a theory that Clark is related to James Nealon from last season, who gave the girls the stuff Mona left for them after she died. It's been rumored it was an A setup. Really? This is too much. It's like, who is James Nealon? I don't even remember who that is. I feel like they tried too hard with all these people. There are too many characters. Reese says, for the episode 9 promo, when Allie says it's you, who do you think she was talking about? I don't know. Sometimes in those kind of promos, I mean, you think that she's talking to Charles, but sometimes they edit them in a way that that's not even what was going on. So I don't know. I don't want to think too much into it. Did Ted bail Ashley out of jail? Didn't he have a bunch of money? Wasn't someone putting money in Bibles or something? That's a good point, Molly. Who do I think is the official A on Drell? Well, my big hope in life is that Ezra is, and thank you for coming back for this show, because I've always thought he was involved from the beginning, and I want him to be like uber A. I really don't think he fits in as Charles. I just can't make that make sense, but I would love for him to be the main person. But we'll see. Tamari says Ashley did tell Ted about Jason. Yes, that's what I thought. And that's why they took so long to actually decide to get married. Yes, but then he came back to her and he was like, I still want to marry you, right? I think so. Neely says if Ren is a doctor, he has some money because doctors earn a lot, don't they? They should. Now, if you believe the spoilers that were out there a few weeks ago, they said Ren was a fake doctor. I don't know. So, Michael, what's up, Michael? Thanks for being here. Thinks that Wilden is Charles so much that he told me 6 times. Why? Why do you think that? I'm up for any of your guys' theories, because really it could be so many people. Seriously, Court says that Troyan confirmed the finale is only an hour. Why? My hopes up. Jazzy's asking if I saw the promo. I did. But I know you sent me one on, here's the thing. I know you sent me one on YouTube. I saw the one last night that aired immediately after the show. So I did see that one. If there's a different one that you're talking about, no. Do I think Marion is Black Widow? I have heard that going around. I don't know. How would you think? What do you guys think about that? Would you be happy? I've never seen this person. First of all, she's supposed to be dead. I want all the main people, the main bad guys. I want them to be people that we know. Okay. I don't want them to be random people. I don't want them to be dead people that we've forgotten about. I don't want like Mrs. D to be Redcoat or something crazy. I mean, who knows with the show? I don't know. Court says she says it's that Troyan says it's action packed. Well, I hope. I hope it's amazing. I have such high hopes, you know. Andrea wants to know who I think is Redcoat, Charles, and Black Widow. I think Melissa is Black Widow. I think Charles is Ren. Redcoat, I don't know. For some reason, well, I want it to be Arya. I think it might be Cece though. Diana asks, why is Allison being so protective of Charles? If in the beginning she didn't even remember him. She knows something she's not telling. Well, she is kind of having some more memories now. I'll give you that. I don't know if she always had these memories, if she's making up these memories because she's seeing the videos, or if she just wants to have the memories. I feel like he's her family, and I feel it's genuine. I feel she genuinely feels bad for him. She doesn't want him to die. She doesn't want the police to kill him. And I think if any of you guys have family members who do things you don't agree with, and I'm not talking about killing people, but I know sometimes we have people in our families that we don't really agree with what they've done or do. We still love them, and we don't want the police to kill them. And I think that's where she's coming from. Now, she doesn't really know him, but he's still her brother, we think. So she doesn't want him to die. She would like to get to know him. I think, you know, she wants the chance to get to know him. Niecy says an hour is enough. She gives up. They need to answer questions, and it's just going to be like the others. They love to play with us, so an hour is not enough. Yeah, I know. I was so excited for 90 minutes, but sadly, no. So I don't know. They just better tell us who Charles is. I so wish that next week was the finale because I just really want to know. And I'm afraid that like next week's episode is going to be more junk and just more like another new character and just stuff like that. And I'm going to be really sad. Maddie's going to tell us theory again. If A hits Allie to kidnap her, okay. Mrs. D saw it and assumed she was dead and helped bury her. Okay. Charles didn't have his doll, so we had to take Sarah instead. Now that makes more sense to me. I was a little lost before. I think that's completely possible. Completely possible. My favorite liar, asked Michael Pilkey. I think this is a tough question, but Arya, probably. Hannah is followed closely behind because I love her like sassy attitude. I just think she's awesome. My least favorite is probably Emily because I feel like nothing really that interesting happens with her. I feel like she's kind of like a victim. I don't know. I feel like, you know, at least Spencer is like always trying to figure things out and stuff. But Emily, I feel like, is always getting into the wrong relationships. She's always like sad and upset. I don't know. That's a great question for you guys. Who's your favorites? Who's your favorite liar and least favorite liar? Allie is late, but that's okay. Just 30 minutes late. We still have 30 minutes to go, so it's no problem. Tamari would like for Marion to be alive because wants Toby to be happy. I think that would be awesome if Marion was still alive. I just don't really want her to be one of the main villains because I don't even know her. We've never even seen her before. Niecy was talking about Hannah's blow up on Allie. That was funny. I mean, she probably did need to have a seat because she was kind of going a little crazy, but yeah, I mean, I think it's funny. I'm glad that someone kind of tells it like it is. Sometimes they're just overly dramatic, and I just think it's funny that this season I really like how Hannah has been, and she's just been sassy and cool. She's got herself together. She's not hooked on alcohol anymore. I like that. The crazy out of control Hannah wasn't too funny, you know? Okay, I'm trying to catch up to all your comments here. Does anyone know what happened to Ian? Okay, is he the one that was on top of the tower and he got pushed off and died? Is that what happened, or did he get stabbed? Please refresh our memories, Jazzy asked. Neely says, why Hannah, oh, she gets why Hannah is upset, but she's kind of disrespectful towards Allie. Yeah, because Hannah cannot understand at all why Allie has sympathy for her brother, but I do understand it. You know, that's kind of what I just explained. So yeah, she is being kind of rude. Water break. Okay, Molly says she has a feeling that next week's episode is going to cut off at the end right when they're about to reveal A. No. And the finale will be like a rewind of flashbacks. No. Please no. Please no. Apoorv doesn't understand how PLL is going to answer questions from season 1 in 1 hour. I don't know. To be totally honest, I'm not liking it. That's scary to me. Niecy says she would want Allie to confront Charles and ask him questions about why, but doesn't want him dead. I think that would be awesome. I think that it would suck if we learn who Charles is and then the police kill him. Because we need to know, like, hey, dude, why were you doing all this stuff? Someone, there's a theory out there that he's being blackmailed by like Uber A or Redcoat or something. Maybe he doesn't mean to do all these things. I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe someone's feeding him like lies about his sister and lies about the other girls, because I don't understand why he's always torturing them. Do you? Michael says Allie finds out who Charles is next week. It definitely looks like that from the promo. And then in the finale, they find her and find out who Charles is. That's what we all hope. We all hope they find out who he is. We hope we know this person. It's someone shocking. It's someone good that makes us happy, not some random person, not someone wearing 2 or 3 masks. That's what I hope. Court says Shay is beautiful. I totally agree with you. And she has a YouTube channel that I like watching. I don't know if you guys have ever watched her channel. The only thing I will say about her channel that I don't really like is that it's very scripted and it seems like a show. And I watch a lot of people on YouTube, and hers is just kind of not authentic. In fact, I haven't watched it in a while, and I know she was getting a lot of comments criticizing her for that. So maybe she's doing them more like casual now. If she is, let me know. But I had to quit watching them because they felt like an episode of a TV show. Like, I was just like, this is not real. I'd love to see her being herself, but she is really pretty. I agree. So Livy says, feels like Spencer is always ruining it when they're close to finding out who A is. Maybe she's trying to protect someone. That is kind of true. You do have a point there. Natty's favorite liar is Allison because she seems the most sane lately. She actually called the police on Charles. She does seem very sane. Least favorite is Hannah right now because she is being so rude. Okay, I can completely understand that. Molly says Ian didn't die getting pushed off the bell tower. According to Mona, she said she saw him leave. He was in a barn with a gun in his hand and a fake suicide note. So does that mean he's alive? I felt like they found his body. I don't know. How can we keep up? A sneak peek on the PLL YouTube channel from another. Is it a different promo than they showed last night, Julia? Reese is asking, how is Emily going to get in touch with Sarah to ask her to prom? That's a good point. I guess she could just call Claire's house, right? Yeah, I thought Ian fell from the bell tower too. I am so confused here. Why is everything so confusing? Tamari's favorite character is Spencer right off the bat because of how smart she is. I do admire that. But even more, she has grown a lot and even tries to understand Allie, something that others haven't done. Yeah, I see that, and I agree with you. Natty wants Hannah to kill Redcoat. I want to know who Redcoat is first, though. Maybe get them to explain why they're Redcoat, what they're doing. Yeah, completely. A Pour wants a season where we see everything from Charles's point of view. I know a lot of people want that. And honestly, I think that would be so cool. I would totally be into that because then they could go back and show us like all of the different things that we've seen happen like on the show, the bad things that A has done, but then we get to see like how he did it, how he pulled it all off, why he did it. I think that would be so cool. Tamara's least favorite is Aria because she's too explosive and kind of dumb. Haha. Drink Your Sauce says that Charles seems to care about the girls in a weird way. And I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, but this person thinks that Redcoat, Black Widow are the ones who want to hurt the girls. And I've seen that kind of floating around online, which I kind of like that, okay? So maybe Charles is being manipulated or blackmailed, or maybe he's got trust issues or something. I mean, he was probably treated really bad. Maybe somebody is making him do all this stuff, and he doesn't really know what to do, or he can't think for himself. So apparently Ian is not dead. Well, where is he then, really? Like, is he going to resurface? Please. Michael wishes Marlene would give a list of like 10 people and have 100% of them, 100% one of them has to be Charles. That would be so cool. She should do that like a couple of days before the finale. I know she won't, but someone should ask her. Someone should tweet her and be like, please give us like 10 people and put Charles in there and see if we can guess. Diana says her favorite liar is Hannah because she loves her sassy attitude. And least favorite is Emily because, as I said, nothing really happens with her and she's the most quiet, but she loves them all. I agree. I really love all of them. I really even like Allie, and I didn't like her for a long time. So I don't think there's like a terrible liar or like someone I can't stand. I mean, I think they work really well together. So yes. Tamari said that Charles had a lot of chances to kill the girls in the dollhouse. Yeah, completely right. He never really even touched them. I don't know what he did with them in that morgue thing, but yeah, he didn't kill them. He doesn't want them to die, obviously. He had a million chances. So Natty says, remember before Ian tried to kill Spencer, he said, I'm doing this because I love your sister. So he thinks he knew Melissa buried Bethany, and if Spencer was gone, then Melissa wouldn't need to be scared. Yeah, that's true. And I mean, I don't think we know for sure that Melissa buried Bethany, right? Isn't that from the Reddit spoilers? So I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll see. So Rafaela says if the guy is like Jason, he is a Hastings too. Well, possibly. So maybe he's related to Spencer. That would be funny. Hey, so thanks for joining us. Michael's asking if I'd rather find out who Charles, Redcoat, or Black Widow is. Charles. But I want him to be like, I still don't know if Charles is going to end up being like the main A. Is he the main A, or is there an Uber A? Because I would like to add that option. If there's an Uber A, I would rather know who that is than find out who all these other people are, because I want to know who like the main like ringleader is, you know? So Tamari says apparently, according to Mona, that Ian did not die. Someone possibly shot him. But they did find Ian's body with a fake note. So maybe, I don't know. Do you guys think he's really dead? Exhausting. Michael thinks that Reese was hired by A to switch the paintings. I think so too. I don't think Reese is Charles, and I don't think Reese is on the A team. Anyway, he says he thinks Reese was hired by A to switch the paintings, and Charles wanted him to get caught because he looks like Jason. So the police will assume he is Charles. Yes, exactly. And someone said this in the last show. I agree. I think Jason's going to be in trouble. I think Jason's going to get brought into the police station for questioning, and he wasn't involved at all. Diana cannot wait for the finale, but also sad because, yep, as we know, that show is not coming back for the second half of the season until January, but hopefully we get some answers. I mean, I want the answers too. So we did find out that Melissa buried Bethany in 511 because she thought Spencer was the one who hit her with the shovel. So does that mean Bethany is dead? I'm so confused. Bethany was alive when she buried her. She felt guilty because she discovered it. I didn't know that we knew that Bethany was dead for sure. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. Livy says maybe the twins are Jason and Reese isn't Charles, but he's Jason's twin. Now, that makes sense because he does look like Jason, and they were probably right about that, but he's not. I like that. That actually makes a lot of sense. But then there's all that stuff about Hannah and the twins. So I can't put all that together. Michael says that Lucas, Cece, and Jenna will be back in the finale. Is that confirmed, or is that on Wiki? Because there's so much stuff out there about the finale. Like it's going to be 90 minutes. Apparently it's not. Are we sure that these three people are going to be in the finale? I don't know. Jason and Reese being twins would be cool, Tamari says. I agree. So where would have Reese been all the time? I don't know. Why is he just now surfacing? I don't know. Soph says that Ian has to be dead because there was a bullet hole in his head. I just hope some of the people who we think are dead are actually dead. I can't deal with so many people coming back from the dead. It's crazy. There you go, Zoe. Thank you. Melissa told Spencer that she buried Bethany through a video in season 5. But I guess she could have gotten out, right? Doesn't mean that she's dead, right? But I remember that. Thank you. She was like crying in that video. How did I forget that? Sad. Okay. Marlene said that we will find out. Didn't Marlene say, this is Addison. What's up, Madison? Addison. Didn't Marlene say that we will find out Uber A and the entire A team? I don't know. Did she say that? I felt like she said we're going to find out Charles, Black Widow, and Redcoat. Molly thought that the 2 weeks without PLL was a long wait, but this 2-week wait is going to be so much longer. I know. I'm really having problems right now. This is like, we're so close yet so far away, you know? And I just feel like next week's episode is going to just be like a filler. So maybe it's not, but I want to know. We've waited for so long, guys. Jazzy says, Ren could have written the note and wanted him dead about Ian because he wanted Melissa to himself. Completely. Neely says that if Ian died in the bell tower, who moved him? Tiny Mona as A couldn't do this. Ooh, really good point. Probably Charles or someone. Michael says if Reese was caught by the police, they would think he is Charles since he looks like Jason. Oh, okay. Well, it's funny because someone in the other show thought Jason's going to take the fall for this because he looks like Reese. But I see what you're saying, Michael, and I could see it going that way too. I like that. Maddie says we don't know 100% that it was Bethany because Melissa never saw her face. Okay, yes. I knew there was something missing there, but we know that it wasn't Allison, and we know the person was alive when they were buried. Right. So that's why we can still think that Bethany is still out there, because we don't really know. Drink Your Sauce has a theory that Reese is Freddie. Freddie, okay, was the one, what they were calling that little boy who we thought was Charles in the home video, and is Aunt Carol's grandchild, which would make him their cousin. I just don't think that Freddie was Charles. Now that is cool. So perhaps we saw Freddie because she was calling him Freddie, and those kids thought it was Charles, but it wasn't. I really like that. Niecy just wants someone to actually be dead. Please. Can we please? Yes. Reese thinks that Reese and Clark are being forced by A to do something to the girls because they both showed up at that place. Yeah, I don't think they're evil people. I completely agree with you. Olivia is asking, when does season 6 part B start? It's January. Does anyone have a specific date? Who do I think the twins are? Asks Andrell. I don't really know, but I always felt like Hannah had to be involved somehow, or Hannah's mom or something. But then there was like these little blonde girls. I felt like she was part of it, but I don't know. Okay. So Michael, I really do understand you. So they think that Jason might be Charles because Reese might be Charles because he gets caught and he looks like Jason. I do get it. I'm sorry. I might not have explained it well, but I do get it. Thank you. Porv said there are many speculations about the hand coming out of the dirt. Apparently one hand coming out was surrounded by roots and the other was just dirt. Does that mean that Bethany could have survived? I kind of think so. And then she thinks that she's alive. She's teamed up with Charles to get revenge. Ooh, yeah. Maybe she's Redcoat. I like that. Niecy also heard about Jason taking the fall. I could see that happening. Definitely. Addison asked if I remember last week when A received a birthday gift from you, Allie. Do you think that the gift could have been from him? Okay, well, first of all, Allie, I'm pretty sure spells her name A-L-I. Now, this card said A-L-L-Y, which was interesting. I think, honestly, that's kind of what made me start to think that someone was making him do bad things, because I feel like they sent him that picture to torment him. And if he was the one in control and was being mean to everyone else, and I'm really glad you brought this up, he wouldn't send himself that picture. If someone's sending him mean gifts, that's kind of like what he used to do to other, like the girls and stuff, right? So I feel like maybe he isn't in control, you know? Molly can't trust Allie because she said Cyrus had her get out of town on Thanksgiving, but then he never showed. But really, she was the one who set it up and was wearing a black wig and threatened him. You're right. And I think as much as I want to trust her now, because she seems very nice and very trustable. It's not a word, I don't think. You're right. We can't forget like the lies she's told and how sneaky she was. But now she seems all nice and innocent. Niecy wants to talk about Ella for a moment. She felt for her because she was so over her daughter being tortured. Thank God this woman actually spoke up. She felt sorry for her and wanted to cry when she started to cry. I am so happy that one of the parents actually stood up to someone. In this case, it was Tanner, because I feel like the other parents have just been so casual. Like crazy stuff has happened to their daughters. Crazy stuff's been going on for such a long time. No one ever seems to get really angry. What is up? So yes, Niecy, I was so glad to see her stand up to Tanner. Please, that was really, really great. I completely understand what you're saying there and agree with you. Livy thinks that Clark was hired by A to get Arya and the girls to go to the gallery, and Reese was hired to swap the painting. Maybe Charles had a plan for that night, but it didn't go completely to plan. Yeah, I really think all of that stuff was a plan, not them being evil. Samuel says, at the minute, it looks like Bethany and Charles were friends, but the liars also thought Leslie was her friend. What if Bethany planned to see Allie? Hold on, your comment has gone way up now. What if Bethany planned to see Allie or even harm her? The person who hit Allie could have thought it was Bethany. She could have been just like Allie to take her place, or a decoy while Allie looked for A. Yeah, completely. Let me like take all this in. What if Bethany planned to see Allie or even harm her? Yeah, I don't know, because we just don't really know a lot about Bethany, but I feel like she probably could be bad news because she was in Radley and maybe she had this alliance with Charles from there. Soap says it's ally, as in someone who is ally, not ally. It's an ally, as in someone who's cooperating with you, like on your team. A lot of people are saying that. Okay, I read that wrong. Olivia, hey Olivia, saying the same thing. The ally on the card was ally, partner in crime or something. Okay, interesting. Molly's asking about Allie dressing like a 40-year-old mom. Okay, this is actually sad to me because this was brought up in my Periscope last night. And someone sent me a link to an article. I think that for some medical reasons, the actress, Sasha, who plays Allie, has put on a little bit of weight. I had read some articles where people were criticizing her and saying she was fat and a lot of terrible things, which I totally don't think she is. So I think that they're having to kind of work with her wardrobe a little bit and put her in different clothing because she might not be able to right now wear some of the things that she used to wear or that the other girls wore, which makes me sad. I think that's what's going on. I feel kind of bad because on Twitter last night, I did kind of hate on the blue cardigan she had on. Then she stood up and she had like a dress and stuff, but you're right. It's way not in her age group. She is really young in real life. So I don't know, but I do feel bad now because I kind of forgot about the fact that she had gained some weight and then I didn't know it was a medical thing. So I feel bad about that. Natty has a theory that Charles will reveal himself to the liars and begin to tell them everything. But before he can finish, Redcoat kills him. The girls chase her down and pull off her mask. I like that. But I don't want him to die because I want to know everything, you know. Diana loved Tanner in this episode. For the first time, she feels like Tanner really wants to help the girls. Maybe. I've never liked Tanner. I feel like she's just so incredibly shady, but I hope she wants to help them, but I just don't know. Jazzy says that Sarah was in the dollhouse. She stuttered when they asked her what her name was. She was drawing in the dollhouse like Bethany liked to draw, and Bethany's room was dark. Could that have represented the grave? Yeah. I know a lot of you think that Sarah is Bethany, and then possibly Claire was paid off or something to pretend like she knew this Sarah who was actually Bethany. So I think that that's just really, really interesting. Olivia thinks that Clark was paid or something, probably. Drink Your Sauce thinks that Allie could have, we're back on that again, ally instead of Allie, someone who looks like her. Cece maybe. If she turned out to be Redcoat, that would make sense. Livy says that Ella's definitely the best parent. Yeah, I'm so glad she got herself involved last night. Porb says maybe Redcoat really did send the picture as a friend since all his family pictures were burned in the dollhouse. Maybe, because I thought they were being mean, but maybe not. I see where you guys are coming from now. Reese says Sasha is pregnant? Really? I didn't think she was. She is beautiful, Neely. Yes, Nisi says they need to leave her alone. Ridiculous. I don't think she's fat. I never have. Terrible. It makes me very sad. And I was thinking, like, if you are an actress or an actor in Hollywood, like how hard it must be to live up to everyone's standards, not just your fans, but all of the people who you work for. And I can't imagine. So Michael says Cece possibly visited Bethany and Radley pretending to be Allie. And then that night she wore the same clothes as Allie so that Bethany couldn't tell them apart. Yeah, that's interesting. I really wish we would find out more about Bethany. And I don't know if we're going to, like, in this finale, but I want to know what she looks like. But I think there's a huge reason that we don't know what she looks like. Yeah, I don't think Sasha is pregnant, guys. That kind of set off some craziness. I don't think it is. I don't think she is, though. Okay. Tamari says Allison is using her mother's clothes as a way to remember her. Oh, so is that... are those her clothes? The cardigan and the dress and stuff? That's interesting. I didn't know that. That would be cool, if so. Michael thinks that Black Widow is Ashley and that that's a good character. Okay. That would be interesting. A lot of people have always thought Ashley Marin, Hannah's mom, was somehow involved. A parents episode, says Jazzy. I don't know. Let's see. Nisi says the Rosewood PD is the worst thing ever. Agreed. What do they do all day? Eat donuts and drink coffee? Probably. The girls do a better job finding information than they do. Absolutely. Oh, I know, Molly. Molly was not trying to pick on Sasha. I know. You're right. The wardrobe seems totally off. Believe me, I tweeted it out last night saying, like, why is she wearing a mom sweater? But now that I have more information, I feel kind of bad. And I know you weren't being rude. And then I just feel bad that people are saying she's fat. Neely says that felt sorry for Allie when they talked about Jessica's murder on the news. She looks so sad. Yeah, she did. It was just, the whole thing is sad. Even though her mom probably had some issues and maybe wasn't the best mom, you still don't want to lose your mom. So I think that is very, very sad. People are so quick, Natty saying people are so quick to hate on Allison for making fun of Hannah being fat, but don't realize they are just as bad when they make fun of Sasha. I think Sasha Allison is beautiful and healthy. Agreed. And I think the people who do that usually have very low self-esteem. You know, that's just like the people who come on YouTube and leave like hate comments for people. It's just like, you obviously have a problem with yourself, so you're trying to say mean things and bring other people down. It's really obvious. It comes back on you, you know? What do I think of Ashley Benson's Snapchat that got deleted because of the appearance of a ring on her finger? Yes, I totally remember that, Addison. Do I think there will be a Caleb wedding or an Ezra wedding in the future? Yeah, I think so. I think she might get engaged to Caleb, but we'll see, I guess. Lydia feels sorry for Allie because she wanted to know about her brother and she really has changed. It does seem that way. But Hannah and Clark don't see that. And Hannah was kind of mean. Yeah, but I think it's like her family that she doesn't really know. And she wants a chance to get to know him before the police kill him or something. I just want to let you guys know, because it's almost time, sadly, to end this. It's been really fun. I'm going to still do 2 live shows next week and the next. So 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. so that more people who, you know, it was way too late in some countries for my show, so they can come at 4. Also, we'll be periscoping after the next 2 episodes and possibly other times after the finale. And I will have my recap for this week up tomorrow. So if you aren't subscribed, please do that so that you will not miss any new videos. And if you don't follow me on Twitter and you're on Twitter, you totally should. That way you'll know when I'm on Periscope Live, when I have live shows coming, when I have recap videos coming. So please do that. Nisi says Lorenzo needed to have a seat last night as well, going on about killing her brother. Although I don't agree with what Allie did by stealing his key for the police department. We know why she did it. He thinks she was just using him. I think she actually cares about Lorenzo, but I feel like their relationship is really in jeopardy now. I don't even know if that's happening at this point because of all of that. Let's see. Molly would love to see one of the couples married, starting a family, and the time jump, hopefully Spoby or Caleb. I do like both couples, so I think that would be nice. And Court is right. We met Allie when she was Sasha when she was very young. People typically do put on weight and puberty and so on and so forth. So people's bodies don't stay. If you were super skinny as a kid, you usually don't stay that way forever. It happens. People need to deal with it. Natty's wanting me to watch Scream. I know. I need to catch up because I've not watched any of it. And I know I would like it because horror or horrors. Horror is my favorite genre. Love scary movies. So I think I would like that show. Stove says that Hannah was so quick to judge Allie, but remember what she was like with Mona. Yes, I know. Interesting. Okay, so we have a couple more minutes. We have time for a couple more comments, a couple more questions. I think I've covered everything that I need to cover with you guys, but I'm just so happy. It was crazy because there were so many people at the 4 p.m. show and so many people on this show. And it makes me so happy that you guys are here. And it's so much fun to have people to talk about and figure out what's going on with this show with. I love it. Addison says that Lorenzo was so creepy when he popped up on Allie when she came back in from the police station. Yeah, he was kind of acting like he was asleep, but not really. Marcos, what's up? Asking if I think Mona is Redcoat. I do think it's a possibility, but I'm not 100% sure. That's a tough one. Nisi says Spoby is not going to stay together. That would make me really sad. Diana says that you love my live streams. Thank you. Or loved it tonight. And you're so welcome that I answered your comments. She's in Portugal and doesn't want to go to sleep. I'm sorry. It's actually still early here. It's 7. So I think I'm going to go for a run and stuff after this is over. But maybe you could watch some PLL videos. Maybe you could watch, if you haven't watched all of mine or other people's, or every night before I go to bed, I actually watch YouTube videos. That is what puts me to sleep. And I don't mean they put me to sleep, but that's what I love to do to relax before I go to bed. Natty thinks that Emily should be Redcoat. That would be such a shocker, and I would be happy with that because at least it was shocking. So Oh, Nisi, thank you. I know I do have so much fun with these. Like, I mean, they're so much fun. I just love it. Addison thinks we're going to be so thrown off next week. I just hope it's not like another super filler episode. I'm going to be so sad. But guys, thanks so much for being here. And I hope you guys have a great night or day, depending on what time it is for you. And I'll be back tomorrow with my recap video. So please stay tuned for that. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.